Throughout the various integrations we saw in Warzone between Modern Warfare, Cold War, and Vanguard, we would see old and new metas rise throughout the game's lifetime. Examples such as the Blixen, AMAX, and Modern Warfare P5 all saw high recognition in their prime form. Here's something to think about. Is a meta weapon solely defined based on how good its stats are? We're going to take a look at what might be the most hidden gem to ever exist in Warzone that never saw its debut. A weapon which was rarely seen. One that left mixed feelings upon its handling at first glance, and secretly dominated in the hands of those who understood its potential. This is the history of the Lapa. The Lapa was a little different compared to other SMGs we had seen before. It had multiple barrels that modified its damage and recoil output, so TTKs were relatively all over the place. The Lapa was one of the most challenging and time-consuming weapons to unlock, which we'll get into later. But upon first glance, one of the problems players saw with the Lapa was that its iron sights were not very good. It was tough to see through them, and most players realized they'd have to use an optic to make it feasible. The game had reached a point to where iron sights were preferred since it saved an attachment slot and allowed players to use additional attachments such as serpent wrap, bigger mag size, or laser. Between the trivial methods of unlocking the Lapa plus the bad iron sights, no one really bothered unlocking the Lapa. Let's take a look at the timeline. The Lapa became available for players to unlock on October 19th, 2021, which was also the day of the release of the new Halloween event. There were 3 ways players could unlock the Lapa. The first was completing by all of the Warzone challenges listed. The time it took to finish all of these was way above what any other weapon required beforehand. The second was by completing all of the Cold War challenges listed, but it was the same scenario where players had to complete all 9 listed and it took a long time. It was tough to tell which method was faster, but regardless, it was a complete nuisance to unlock with how many tasks were required. The third option was to purchase the Abnormality blueprint from the store for 1200 COD points, but even doing so, you still had to unlock the base version of the Lapa within game to modify and unlock the remaining attachments the blueprint didn't come with. On November 2nd, 2021, the requirements to unlock the Lapa changed in multiplayer. In the weapons menu, the description stated that in order to unlock the Lapa, you needed to get 10 kills rapidly using SMGs 100 times. This was absurdly ridiculous, and it was hard to tell if the devs were serious on whether this was actually supposed to be intentional or not. The next day, on November 3rd, 2021, the devs released an update fixing an issue causing incorrect text to appear for the Lapa unlock challenge. Instead of tuning down the amount of times needed to complete the challenge from 100, they completely changed the challenge altogether. Players now had to score 3 kills with SMGs while aiming down sights in 15 matches, which was much more reasonable. It's fair to question if this was intended to begin with or not, but regardless, the Lapa could finally be unlocked at a reasonable level. Even after this fix, the Lapa still remained a hidden secret. Players only who understood its true potential could make it shine. For months, Lapa would avoid any nerfs, and players who knew it was viable were free to continuously run it thanks to its low pick rate. But on May 26, 2022, the devs finally caught on. The hidden gem received a significant hit and it would fall out tremendously from being in the viable category. The max damage decreased to 27, down from 31. The max damage range increased to 12.7 meters, up from 10.1. The mid damage decreased to 25, down from 28. The mid damage range increased to 20 meters, up from 17.8. And the mid damage decreased to 21, down from 26. It was brutal seeing what they had done to the Lapa. It felt like it was one of the weapons players could always go back to with confidence, knowing it would see incredible success rates. The only other update we would see for the Lapa came on June 22nd, 2022, where the devs fixed an issue where the SWAT 5W laser attachment for the Lapa displayed an incorrect icon. The Lapa left behind a noble mark, which proved that even with stat lines that seemed borderline average, players could find a way to make it stand out amongst top competitors. Maybe at some point we'll see the Lapa return in Warzone 2, but we'll just have to wait and see what they decide on. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.